could we always keep on going? Quitters never win, but we're always growing. Hey there, big cat, let's chase the highest vibration. Together we'll create a new world, a brand new nation.
Namaste! Grand Rising Big Cat Air Signs, welcome or welcome back to Big Cat Astrology, Big Cat Wave, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, Sun, Moon and Rising, the planetary hot topics to add to your almanac over the next 7 days. On the 9th of April, the Moon enters Taurus. Seize the moment to ground yourself amidst the shifting currents of change and upheaval. Engaging grounding practices such as mindfulness, meditation or connecting with nature to establish a solid foundation. When faced with potential conflicts or power struggles, approach challenges with creativity and resilience. On the 10th, Mars aligns with Saturn in Pisces. This period may bring about frustrations as conflicting energies intersect. Mars is known for its impulsive nature, clashes with Saturn, the custodian of time, presenting a unique challenge for you to navigate. Consider engaging in physical activities or exercise to channel excessive energy to gain perspective in any emerging issues. For some, this alignment may instill an additional dose of courage, empowering them to pursue their desires boldly as they tap into latent reservoirs of strength. On the 11th, the Moon in Gemini forms a trine with Pluto in Aquarius. Prepare for heightened emotional experiences during this phase. You may find yourself awakening to dormant emotions, fostering a desire for adventure, exploration and personal growth. Consider decluttering your living space or embracing a new look to align with the transformative energies at play. On the 12th, the Moon in Gemini squares Mars in Pisces. This planetary aspect may evoke excitement, contention and impulsiveness all at the same time, darling dears. Yeah, I know. Exercise caution to avoid potential disagreements, especially with individuals of the opposite gender. Be mindful of your spending habits and refrain from suppressing emotions during this period of heightened tension. On the 13th, the Moon squares Neptune in Pisces. Maintaining focus may prove challenging during this transit. There will be a tendency towards dreaminess and passivity. Guard against self-deception and wishful thinking by taking deliberate steps to ground yourself in reality. Avoid stimuli such as horror movies that may disturb and disrupt your peace of mind and lead to unsettling dreams. Instead, seek activities that promote relaxation and self-care. On the 14th, the Moon in Cancer harmoniously aligns with Saturn in Pisces. This period offers fabulous conditions for conducting business meetings, particularly with influential figures. Seek support and guidance from women whose perspective may prove invaluable. Exercise emotional discipline to navigate decisions with clarity and confidence, particularly in financial matters. On the 15th, the Moon in Cancer squares Mercury in Aries. Expect delays in communication and exercise caution when embarking on travels during this transit. Guard against mental distractions and emotional turbulence. Do your level best to maintain clarity and focus amidst potential upheaval. Practice mindfulness in your interaction with others by double-checking your messages to prevent misunderstandings and misinterpretations. Please stay tuned in for the tarot reading to follow. Big Cat Wave. Namaste! Grand Rising air signs. Welcome back to Frequency Phoenix 555 for messages for the next 7 days. Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, Big Cat Wave. Let's dive right in and unpack. We're going to use a rune stone today. Mix it up a bit. Why not, eh? Give it a good shufti. Just the one, darling dears. I love it. I don't hate it. This is represented by Ewas, represented by the Temperance in Tarot, darling dears, and it's in the upright. On the runestone, it's represented by the number 13 and the number 14. 13 on the runestone and 14 on tarot. All right, let's dive in, darling dears. We're going to add those two numbers together, 26, 27, 2 and 7 goes together to make a 9, but Temperance is also ruled by Sagittarius, okay? Sagittarius is Jupiter energy. So the energy that we've got behind you today, darling dears, is what? Growth, darling dears. Growth, abundance, yes, baby. Skrilla.com, darling dears. Jupiter, the planet of expansion, higher learning, travel, darling dears. Let's get the energy of Jupiter so we can remind ourselves of the energy as we get deeper into the read. Jupiter comes on at a 7, darling dear. 7 is the number of genius as well as a highly spiritual number. It's also the number of knowledge and intellect, darling dears. And as an air star sign, that's what you roll with, darling dears. You have it in the cranium. Yes, you do. But you must not allow yourself to be what? Manipulated. Because why? You'll always work out the right answer, darling dears, once you sit down and think about it. All right. Okay, Jupiter comes in with a 7 on the card, darling dears, but in numerology, Jupiter rules the number 3. Yes, darling dears, the number 3. This is represented by the Empress on the tarot cards, the Empress, the Hangman, and the World. The Empress for growth, abundance. It could speak about a pregnancy, darling dears. Hangman, seeing things from a different perspective. It could also speak about prison or police, darling dears, or being what? Mentally stuck on a situation or freeing yourself of said situation. The World card is the ending in order for a new beginning to come through for you. Your life path number could be a 3. The numbers 3, 12, 21 or 30 may be a significant date or number in your life. The number 3 is represented by the letters C, L and U. Jupiter itself is represented by the letters C, G, L and S. It speaks about you being what? In tip-top creative mode, darling dears. You are an extreme motivator, especially of self, over the next 7 days. The number 3 is ruled by the astrology aspect of a trine, darling dear. So you've created some form of new opportunity or opportunities through your natural talents, your skills, your gifts, darling dears. You are pure artistry in motion. Why? You've got it in the cranium as well, darling dears. You're going to be seeing an upturn in your social circumstances over the next 7 days. Your luckiest days will be Thursday and Sunday. Your luckiest numbers will be the 3, 6, 9. Run tell that. Tesla told us it's the key to the universe, and so it is. Fist bump. Jupiter comes in with the frequency 8, 5 and 2. Play that over the next 7 days, especially at night when you're going to sleep. The 852 frequency, darling dears, to bring all the abundance you truly deserve. All right, let's press on. Did I miss anything out? No, I didn't. Let's see if it will stand up, or is it going to fall over? Fabulous, gorgeous and lovely, darling dears. Let's press on and get your oracle ancestral message. We're going to use the distance travel. I haven't used that in a while. Oh, base of the deck, miracles, darling dears. It's like the universe is saying, rub the lamp, rub the lamp. Love it. Don't hate it. You've got a what? This is a waxing gibbonous moon in the background. So it's about your intentions, aligning your intentions with what the universe wants to gift you. You have to be in deserving mode, darling dears. And remember, if you are comfortable where you are, that's all you're going to get. More things to keep you at that level. You should be what? Raising the bar over the next 7 days, because it will be granted unto you. Expect the wondrous to emerge. Love it. I don't hate it. Oracle Ancestral message for the air signs for the next 7 days. Oracle Ancestral message. Oh, fell right on me, darling dears. Yeah, surrender into the journey. Release control. Listen, when you have the Most High as the head of your table, darling dears, look at all of this water. When the water is smooth like this, darling dears, it means there's no turbulence. It means that the pathway for you, this opportunity, this gateway is opening up over the next 7 days. Yeah. The moon, it's the moon, but it looks almost like the sun, so it's about self, darling dears. You're going to learn a new knowledge about self. I just realized the owl was poking in at the back. Yeah. And it also speaks about a new level of security, darling dears. Yes, you're easing on down your yellow brick road. Remember, don't carry nothing that might be a load. Yeah, as you ease on down the road. Fist bump, but bestie, remember to keep silent. Tell no one nothing. They're watching anyway, these mouth breathers. Yeah, no one watches you closer than a hater. And if you ain't got a hater, you need to step up your game. Yeah, valiant courage, darling. Just take action with passion. What did I say? You have to be involved in co-creating this new beginning, this new abundant beginning of higher learning, travel, and Skrilla.com, darling dears. Somebody's also about to learn a foreign language or be moving to a foreign environment. And it's for others. This is you changing your worldview. Somebody's also going to be taking up astrology over the next 7 days. Nothing wrong with that. I keep telling you, bestie. Your birth natal chart is your snapshot of the Akashic records. When you get a perfection chart done, it's a future forecasting of how your year's going to be. We can even break it down into the day, each day, what energy is carrying for you, so you know how to adjust yourself and still win. Why? Because I've told you, he or she who holds the whip runs things, darling dears. The whip can mean many things. In that case, it's knowledge, darling dears. You're about to be blessed. Some of you are going to get this blessing on your own. I mean, without a partner. But you've done all of this work yourself. Even the horse is happy. Tail up in the air and everything. Yeah, show pony. Somebody also into showing some kind of design. Whether you're a model or the walker. Listen, whatever it is, darling dears, make sure that you do. If you're walking, walk that damn thing, darling dears. Make sure you sashay until the sashay drops off. If you are a designer, put a new design out this week, air signs. I'm telling you, it's in your hands. Somebody, because Jupiter is Sagittarius, and that's the 9th house, the temperance rune, remember? Right? That's the 9th house. The 9th house is about publishing, darling dears, publishing your works, and make sure that you have believe in yourself. Somebody's also going to have an issue with an in-law. An in-law who is truly an outlaw to their core, darling dears. Maybe a tongue wrestling. Yeah, they want a mouth meeting online, darling dears. Don't be drawn in. Others, you are taking up counseling, or you are a counselor, but you're definitely a teacher, darling dears. It's to do with the occult. I'm a teacher. Yes, I am. I teach you the occult, hidden knowledge, darling dears, of the tarot, your birth name, and your tarot, your astrology, and your numerologies, darling dears. Base of the deck, moving forward, navigating by the stars, and one of those stars is you. And it also speaks about what? Moving in silence, walking solo dolo. The 2 trees speaks about the balance of Boaz and Jashin as found outside the King Solomon's temple, darling dears, in the book of Kings. Boaz for completion and Jashin for beginning, darling dears. Some karmic tie, something that was holding you back, darling dears. Divine is telling you to keep going. It's just a few steps more, bestie. Yes, yes, yes. All of this and that. All right. The message is what? Follow your bliss, darling dears. When it's a passion project, it's not like work, and you will work like a field hand. Why? You're working for yourself, and it brings you joy. Because when it's something that you are learning a new knowledge in, again, 9th house, higher knowledge, whether it's in an institution or you become a keyboard gangster, you will find it, darling dears. And the more knowledge you get, the more you want to learn, especially with astrology. Listen, you can be at it for 40 years and still not know everything, darling dears. Keep going. And if you're a budding astrologer, choose one stream of astrology. I believe there's about 100. Is it 108 or is it 180? I'm getting it mixed up. But anyway, there's so many different forms of astrology. Just choose one, like, yeah, choose your weapon and use it until the wheels fall off. Once you've got the full understanding of that, then you can move on. You can mix and blend. Dip and do it, darling dears. But make sure that you be the master of one, right? Before you can spread it out. Love it. I don't hate it. Right, let's get the decks. Going to use the After Tarot deck. It's the first one I touched. Base of your deck. Moving forward, darling dears. And again, one's energy is about your work idea. It could be spiritual. Maybe you are a tarot reader. You're doing a spiritual project, or you're actually wishing for a situation to be different, but it's definitely about your travel. This person that you're walking away from, or people, it could be a job, darling dears, because one is about work. They're going to wish bad on you, darling dears, wanting you to have some kind of accident. So be careful with your travel, darling dears, and make sure you check and recheck any tickets, plane tickets, bus tickets, whatever it is, the oil level, whatever it is, before you head out. So you are not, stuck out there, dark blood. You don't want to be stuck on the wayside, especially if it's on the motorway in the UK, because it's dark blood. When I'm driving on the motorway in the UK at night time, I'm scared. I turn off my music. Yes, baby, this is not the time for a heavy bass line. Nope. I turn off my music and I pay attention to my GPS. And if a car should come up behind me and pass me, listen, that's when I put the pedal to the metal, because I can use their light as well. I've got my two plus their two, and I can see where I'm going. If you get me, fist bump. Listen, I ain't afraid to tell you that I'm scared on the motorway at night time, but I'll do it. I did it for nearly a year when I was working for Psychic Today. And that was so ironic, because I just not too long since bought my Chariot of Righteousness. My first, well, not my first one, but my first one since I liberated myself from the wicked, right? And the first journey I took the children, I took them down to Margate, but coming back, oh my God, the PTSD kicked in. I started freaking out at the wheel. When I looked at Karma Moore sitting next to me, she was folded into the fetal position. O'Shea was just quiet at the back, darling dears. And then I went into the, because there's only one slow lane. The other two lanes are overtaking lanes. Okay, I went into that line, and it was this big green truck. I don't know where this truck came from, but I was driving about 35, I'm lying. It was about 30 miles an hour in the slow lane, darling dears. But this person is like, it was like a guardian angel. They put on their hazard warning lights and they followed me. And I think my guardians was around me, because I could have spun the wheel off. The PTSD, because it was from the what? My prefrontal cortex, my hippocampus, and my amygdala. When you are in an abusive situation for a long time, darling dears. And then after that, I had that freak out. We got home safely and everything. And then I got the extra job at Psychic Today. I was forced to drive that car. I was forced to go on that car in the dark, because they've got a psychic house where you can actually sleep overnight. But because I didn't want the children to be alone, they know I'm coming back. Yeah, they'd watch the show and then I'll come straight back. You know, but yeah. And it broke me out of the PTSD, darling dears. Yes. Anyway, that was a sidebar, and it's possibly going to be helpful to some. Don't let nobody victim blame you, especially if you spent a long time in an abusive situation. I was with that terrible person for 16 years, darling dears. 16 hard years, hard, where I lost everything. Can you listen? But it's not about me. This ain't a therapy session. What about the money and the skrillers for the air signs? Oh, in the reverse, darling dears. Good golly and gosh. Lean in, bestie. Lean in and brace yourself. Somebody's going to have to do some form of repair work around their home. I've done the astrologicals before this. It will tell you what day would not be a good day, darling dears. It also speaks about a lacking in finances. But don't worry about it. You have the Jupiter energy. Maybe you're feeling like this at this moment in time, that the money ain't money in. Well, it's going to. It's going to. Yeah. Because something new is coming in for you, darling dears. But it also speaks about you having to be curious, be in seeking mode. Yeah, seek and you shall be fine. Shall be found. I heard fine. Somebody's got to pay a fine over the next 7 days. Yeah. Stress and worry, darling dears. You need to stop worrying, because when you worry about lack of finances, this is also showing that somebody's going to be leaving a job, darling dears. But you're being spiritually guided to leave. Okay. Someone is also going to be leaving a job, but it's going to be in handcuffs. Listen, quiet as it's kept. Listen, it could be anyone, darling dears. Yes, they're going to need some kind of legal help. But your money, if your money has not been moneying, Trust and believe. It's about you getting the focus like a child, darling dears. Finding what is your passion project and following it to the letter. Because it's a new beginning. Because you've gained a new perspective in what you don't want. Because not all money is good money. You may have a job that's got good money, darling dears, but it's affecting your mental health, your physical health. It's time for you to make a break free, darling dears, and especially with this new moon solar eclipse. It's time for the new for you. Valiant courage, remember, bestie. Right, for my singles. Oh, good golly and gosh, this is arguments, darling dears. Somebody trying to give tongue wrestling. Oh, don't argue back, darling dears. From a distance, you won't know who the chicken of the sea is, but you remember when people draw you into arguments, darling dears, it's to take your energy. And when you're arguing with one of those dull-eyed simpletons, darling dears, it's draining your energy, and they're not going to argue about the point. They're going to bring all other things to confuse you. Yes, or try and push you to get the reaction, darling dears. Don't react. Remember, whoever has your emotions is your king, bestie. Boy, pinky's up. Okay, the Six of Swords, darling dears. The person or someone who wants to argue with you is somebody unable to move on. It could also represent you being unable to move on from a situation that is not right for you. Why? It's blocking your own blessings. Jupiter wants to give you what you truly deserve. And again, this is about because in the upright, this is a travel card. Be careful. You're gonna have travel issues, darling dears. Be careful of your messaging. Yeah, make sure that it's the correct messages, the right payments, that things are flowing. Check and recheck, because again, we are Mercury retrograde in Aries, and we're fast approaching the new moon solar eclipse in Aries. Everything's going on in Aries this month, darling dears. It is. Base of the deck. Oh my God. I'm getting some kind of, for my singles, it could be a legal situation or a situation at work or amongst your family, darling dears. You have a main protagonist that's going to be driving some kind of confusion, mental confusion. This is from arguments, right? But they're going to want to make amends, darling dears. They're going to cause all of the trouble, darling dears. Then they're going to want to come back and say sorry, right? Listen, you see two people in this card, darling dears, but usually the two of ones, there's only one person. Remember, I told you that. Okay, you can take from it what you will, darling dears. But me personally, if it's somebody who's always arguing with me for nothing and driving me to fury, oh my God, my edges, my hairline. Be very careful, darling dears. And that's the truth, roof. Pinky's up. Somebody who's argued with you, caused an issue. It could be a legal issue, darling dears. This is somebody who's always downgraded your intellect, put little before everything you did, darling dears. This person is going to want to try and come back. But remember, the regular two of wands shows you one person in the card. You have to choose wisely. Yeah. All right. Could be a family member, friend, work colleague, work situation where they back front and listen, there was a back front neck tabber, darling dears, and now they want to make friends. Listen, if that don't drive you to your knees, to ask the Most High, why am I being visited by this pestilence again? No, mate. If you stab me and cut me once, that's it, mate. I've been through the DNS and I'm not going back. What's that? The dark night of the soul for those in a couple. Oh, mischief and lies, darling dears. Clarify the Seven of Swords. More swords energy, more air energy. Maybe somebody wants to test your gangster, or somebody realized that they've left too quickly, darling dears. They'd like to come back. The Seven of Swords could also speak about a sudden breakup in a relationship, darling dears. Why? You're dealing with a thief and a liar. Both are unable to you can't determine or differentiate between the two, darling dears. It's the same. Yeah, a liar thief is a thief of what? Of everything, darling dears. Your trust. Yeah. A blessing blocker, darling dears. Someone who likes to avoid responsibility. And it also speaks about someone looking back at you, darling dears. Listen, they didn't want the situation to be over. The Scorpio card is the 8th house, darling dears. The 8th house of what? Joint finances. So this is a situation that's over, darling dears. Somebody from the past would like to come back, whether it was a lover or a friendship, darling dears. I know, bestie. I know, bloody cheek, right? Yes, yes, yes. It's also about they're feeling stuck in their situation, darling dears. They're bored where they are, and they want to come and play with you, darling dears. They want to play with you. This is what? A dung beetle trying to rain on your parade. Listen, this person will affect your mental health, and look, it's trying to block this new blessing, this portal, this gateway that you're going through, one which is going to be fortunate financially and mentally for you, darling dears. Yeah. This is somebody going to take happiness from you. You've already put that particular past behind you like a ponytail. Why would you want to revisit it? And again, this speaks about some form of travel, a holiday for someone. Listen, you've already freed yourself mentally from that mental slavery to this situation, from the 7 to the 8, darling dears. This person is a user. A user could be an ex-husband, an ex-wife, family member, whatever it is, darling dears. This person's coming back, right? The original shoe shine man or woman, darling dears. Be on the alert. They're coming to hoodwink you because of what you've created. They want a slice, a share in your pie. Listen, I ain't sharing no pie with no one that back front neck tab me, darling dears. Listen. And if they're on fire and I see it, they better know how to drop and roll, blood. Drop and roll. Right, let's get a final card. Then we're out of here to get great. I'm going to use this one. The Island Time Wellness deck. Final messages for my air signs. Wowzers, what did I tell you about the back front neck tabber? Lightning is what's suddenly turning up on you, darling dears. But you've also got the sword and the rose. This is what? The sword of truth, darling dears, and the rose is about a new beginning. What does it say here? Honor, right? You're being protected and you're in your personal power, darling dears. We've got 2 swords here. This is someone that put you in a difficult situation, darling dears. And it also speaks about the ruminating thoughts, darling dears. Somebody's about to get a sudden light bulb idea on how to get out of the ruminating thoughts. But it also speaks about the sudden change that's coming into your situation with the energy of Jupiter, darling dears. You're about to be blessed. Remember I told you that. On that note, I drops me mic. Toddle over to my Teesprings, pick up some of the channel merch, my Patreon, or my TikToks where I also upload videos. Thank you very much for your continued support of me and these messages or massages. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when I'm kicking my way through these tarot streets again. And don't forget to leave a comment, because your comments is a survival kit for another big cat. And as I always say, don't get smoked. And don't smoke yourself. From the ashes, baby. Namaste. Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, Big Cat Wave. Until we meet again on these tarot streets. Cat, 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 cat.
Hey, big cat, welcome to my therapy. This ain't your ordinary world, it's extraordinary. See, I'm a high priestess lightworker, here to guide your way through the waves of life. We'll find a new path to embrace. Tarot, astrology, numerology in our hands. No weapon formed against you shall ever stand. We're winners, we never quit, we always keep on going. Quitters never win, but we're always growing. Hey there, big cat, let's chase the highest vibration. Together we'll create a new world, a brand new nation.